contract at the end of last week. There's a lot to go back on, but you know, the basis of what we all want to do is agreed by us and the team, and we hope to get it over the line.
Who do you think wins that fight? You've boxed both of them twice.
AJ win its future.
Undisputed champion, you know?
While he's here, and now you have the pound-for-pound king of boxing against the pound-for-pound king of kickboxing. It's going to be an incredible event. It's heavyweight boxing, and anything can happen. As I said, this man's got a pyramid to climb on May 23rd against one of the all-time greats, but something tells me with a look.
Eddie Hearn validates Anthony Joshua's complete readiness to face Tyson Fury, immediately escalating the stakes for Fury himself. Joshua gets positioned as totally committed, prepared for consecutive battles. This transcends mere promotional conversation now. It becomes a direct signal that AJ stands ready to jump immediately into the most significant bout of his professional journey without any doubt.
We have made it clear that we are willing to fight Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury back to back. And I'm not being disrespectful that Wilder is a warm-up fight, but AJ is very comfortable to go into that fight next. That's not the basis of the deal that we've been offered, but it's definitely one we're interested in if it was offered, and if they want to look at that route. I think some might perceive that to be a more dangerous option, especially when there's so much riding on Tyson Fury.
Eddie Hearn outlines the complete strategy, validating a precise timeline that positions Anthony Joshua for a July preparation fight before moving directly into a major November confrontation with Tyson Fury. This framework demonstrates AJ receives careful preparation, not protection. It simultaneously escalates demands on Fury, since Joshua isn't merely scheduled for contests, he's being developed for a championship sequence.
Netflix, everybody. So I think they'll be looking at a slightly easier option for Anthony Joshua to, like Tyson Fury had, with all due respect, and then move straight into that fight.
So you're looking at AJ fighting this warm-up in July and then Fury in November?
100%.
So that's the plan?
That's the absolute plan.
A confident statement emerges as Alexander Usyk rejects any notion of Tyson Fury defeating Anthony Joshua, decisively supporting AJ as the obvious victor. The communication lacks any subtlety whatsoever. It applies direct demands on Fury, challenging his capabilities while elevating Joshua's self-assurance. With statements like these, it transforms the potential battle into something beyond promotion. It develops into a mental conflict where AJ gets established as the fighter to defeat. Eddie Hearn validates Anthony Joshua's complete readiness to face Tyson Fury, and this strategy demonstrates total belief in Anthony Joshua entering consecutive battles without hesitation, even amid pressure surrounding challengers like Wilder. AJ advances toward greater objectives. This directly escalates conflict for Tyson Fury, since Joshua no longer receives protection. He gets prepared for the most significant possible confrontation.
And he's ready and he's motivated, but we've got to do it right. The deal that we've been offered, which is to fight in July and then fight Tyson Fury in November, is not with Deontay Wilder in mind. I think the powers that be don't really want us to be in that type of fight.
Right.
We're up for that type of fight.
I was going to say...
AJ's also said to me, I will fight Wilder.
Johnny Nelson emphasizes the psychological transformation in Anthony Joshua, demonstrating how he declines to engage in pride conflicts and alternatively maintains complete command of the circumstances. That controlling approach delivers a powerful message to Tyson Fury since AJ no longer responds with emotion. He establishes conditions and manages every decision before the battle even starts.
What did Anthony do? I rate him for what he did, because most people, most fighters, ego gets involved, thinking this man's not mugging me off in front of all these people. You get up and say blah blah blah, you bite. AJ sat there and he just said, you know, yeah, I'm your landlord. You know, me and you fight will be on my terms. It doesn't matter what you say, what you shout about.
Simon Jordan clarifies that the demands now rest completely on Anthony Joshua, emphasizing that occupying ringside seating meant he understood precisely what Tyson Fury would deliver. This becomes unavoidable anymore. It represents expectation, conflict, and inevitability. The communication stays straightforward. If AJ stands prepared, the battle occurs. If otherwise, the attention only intensifies and becomes more demanding.
Where the situation lies, which is up to Anthony Joshua. If he feels he's ready to fight Tyson Fury, then that fight can happen. But he may well not feel that. And I do think that ultimately Anthony, sitting there at ringside, would have known what was coming, would have known there's an expectation for him to have some sort of interaction with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury doesn't just arrive back on the scene and Anthony Joshua sit ringside and doesn't expect to have an interaction.
Frank Warren ends it definitively, clarifying that nothing progresses until Anthony Joshua commits to the agreement, while demanding Tyson Fury already stands committed and prepared to compete. That disparity creates genuine demands on AJ, since Fury won't wait indefinitely. The extended delay increasingly affects public opinion. One fighter stays active, driven, and prepared, while the alternative remains trapped in contract discussions.
He hasn't signed up for that fight. That's the position. And until he does, it's pointless talking about it. Tyson's ready to go. He's there, ready, willing, able. He's not going to sit around forever, but he's there, and he wants to do the fight.
Duke McKenzie emphasizes the mental strategy between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, demonstrating how both fighters decline to be manipulated or forced into emotional responses. Fury attempts to create conflict, while AJ remains controlled and strategic, declining to participate. This develops a more complex psychological competition outside the arena, where both competitors attempt to manage story, schedule, and demands before they even enter the ring.
Immediately after the fight. Now, AJ's response was, well, I'm not playing your game. I'm not going to jump in the ring. I'm not going to start bad-mouthing you, and you're not going to start pushing me around. You know, AJ's his own man, ultimately, as is Fury. Fury did it his way, where he thought he could incite a little bit of tension and make everybody start sitting up and believe that he actually meant business because he wants to fight AJ. I believe he wants to fight AJ because he knows.
Dominic Ingle provides a direct assessment regarding age, schedule, and physical deterioration, emphasizing that both Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua no longer exist in their physical peak, where errors become insignificant. Fury's latest showing creates concerns about focus and reliability, particularly against superior competition. This develops a risky circumstance, since if this championship fight occurs late, it might not concern ability exclusively anymore. Rather, who has maintained better condition, adjusted more effectively, and retained sufficient capability remaining.
It's not like you can have, when you're young, you can step out of the ring for a year, come back and carry on boxing, have time out and carry on, pick it up. You can do that, but once you get past 30, 35, it's totally different kettle of fish. Tyson came in light, fair play. He didn't look in great shape. He did look a bit skinny and a bit loose, but it was enough to get him through the rounds and just do enough. There were times when he held on to Mahamadov and grabbed him around the neck, and he did look a bit out of place, to be honest. And I would have thought that Tyson would have been able to just stand there, just pop and move half a step away, keep away from him, spin around him. But he did enough to beat that kid. It wasn't particularly impressive. And if Tyson's looking for that Joshua fight, and he'll be a few years older than Joshua once he was Joshua.
Max Kellerman analyzes the approach behind Anthony Joshua's strategy, proposing his current position represents less uncertainty and more contract management. It demonstrates AJ avoids rushing into an agreement with Tyson Fury, but alternatively positions himself to establish conditions. This develops a strategic confrontation where schedule becomes a tool, and every postponement increases demands on both teams to finally secure the most significant fight in British boxing.
Was dancing. He showed every attribute that he's always shown. I can only imagine how he will look 2 fights from now.
Meantime, speaking of his next fight, he calls out Anthony Joshua. He said he wants that fight next. By the way, you notice in this, maybe it's because it's an era of social media, everyone's mic skills in this game are much better than they used to be. It's much closer to WWE, right? Than it used to be to the old boxing days. But he wants the Joshua fight next. Anthony Joshua said he would take the fight, but on his own time. After the fight, AJ said he's still dealing with a lot of things, but he'll be ready, guys. And the quote was, as I said, on his own time. It looked to me like AJ was staking out a negotiating position. How did it look to you?
Yeah, I think it was a power move from Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn to say, hey, we're the ones in control. Obviously, they are not, right? Tyson Fury is the cash cow.
Yes, he is.
I'm the landlord is what he said.
Come on, he's the 10th, let's be real. But I liked it. It was a great line. And Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, this is similar to Mayweather-Pacquiao. It's going to happen past...
Eddie Hearn eliminates the intimidation story entirely, supporting Anthony Joshua and rejecting accusations from Tyson Fury that AJ feels threatened. Alternatively, he emphasizes belief and negotiation strength, proposing Fury's team attempts to generate controversy. This transcends mere marketing anymore. It becomes mental conflict where both parties compete for impression before they ever compete for championships inside the arena.
Nothing signed.
Fury said AJ's terrified. Obviously, you don't agree, but yeah, what do you make of that?
Terrified of what? That tonight?
Yeah.
You think you'd be terrified of that? Come on. Even Fury fans, as I was walking out tonight, not the same energy. They know. They know.
Anthony Joshua delivers a powerful declaration of authority, demanding he avoids chasing publicity and that major fights reach him organically. This directly confronts Tyson Fury, who has frequently controlled attention and challenges. AJ's communication stays obvious. He views himself as the main event, not the challenger. It represents a strategic action in contracts, reinforcing that he believes he controls the most significant fights in the heavyweight category. Ruslan Mukhomedov provides a ruthlessly confident forecast, proposing Anthony Joshua already stands prepared and skilled enough to defeat Tyson Fury convincingly. Whether through decision or knockout, the conviction suggests that AJ possesses the abilities to control. It contributes another dimension of outside belief surrounding Joshua, increasing demands on Fury since more competitors and experts now openly support AJ as the fighter who can overcome Fury's approach.
Crazy strong punch, I think if you ask Tyson Fury, he will tell you. And he did good test himself, and now he ready for Joshua. For Joshua, he already 100% he can beat him.
Points, knockout, do you think?
This stuff I don't know, but I think he beat him easy.
Tyson Fury returns in complete attacking form, demonstrating zero uncertainty about his return and immediately directing focus toward prominent challengers. His belief stays loud, even dismissing criticism of previous contests while advancing the story that he remains the fighter to defeat. However, beneath all the attention, the heavyweight focus continues returning to Anthony Joshua. That's where the genuine conflict exists. Fury's statements feel like a declaration of control, but simultaneously a reminder that he requires a decisive major fight to completely silence discussion and re-establish his peak position.
For many years now, and you know, it would be great to see. I think it's what the fight fans would love to see, but for whatever reasons, as Tyson just stated, it hasn't been accepted. So hey, what we're gonna do? What we're gonna do? It's been the same for 10 years. I've seen the contracts go out. I've seen the contracts leave the lawyer's office. I've seen them be sent, and they come back unsigned. So I'm not here to make too much comment on men's boxing, and it's between Tyson and his opponents, but I mean, the stories didn't add up.
Anthony Joshua discusses genuine personal challenges and healing, clarifying his return isn't hasty or strictly promotional. This transparency demonstrates a competitor who balances individual concerns with championship expectations. While some might perceive doubt, it simultaneously reflects wisdom and strategic planning before entering a major confrontation with Tyson Fury. Rather than pursuing attention, AJ concentrates on complete preparation, both psychologically and physically, before entering what could become the most challenging fight of his complete professional journey. Interprets Anthony Joshua's current schedule strategy as a deliberate decision rather than uncertainty, proposing AJ carefully manages timing and contract strength. This changes the situation against Tyson Fury since it converts the preparation into a strategic standoff rather than a direct rush to compete. Both parties now engage mental strategy where every postponement, declaration, and discussion adds demands. The fight becomes less about immediate action and more about who manages the story and schedule, building toward the most significant heavyweight confrontation.
Anthony Joshua said he would take the fight, but on his own time. After the fight, AJ said he's still dealing with a lot of things, but he'll be ready, guys. And the quote was, as I said, on his own time. It looked to me like AJ was staking out a negotiating position. How did it look to you?
Yeah, I think it was a power move from Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn to say, hey, we're the ones in control. Obviously, they are not, right? Tyson Fury's the cash cow.
Yes, he is. I'm the landlord is what he
right,
said.
Come on, he's the 10th, let's be real. But I liked it, it was a great line. And Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, this is similar to Mayweather-Pacquiao. It's going to happen past when we wanted to see it, but it's going to...
Shane Fury delivers a balanced and honest evaluation of the contest between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, emphasizing how age, inactivity, and decline have created the fight much more competitive than previously. He recognizes that neither competitor maintains clear superiority anymore, and narrow differences will determine everything. This uncertainty increases excitement since both fighters now face danger entering the contest. It no longer concerns prime dominance, but about schedule, preparation, and who adjusts more effectively when the moment arrives.
Because listen, interim fights for both men, it's a dangerous thing. As you can see now, listen, it takes one punch. So for me, if it's going to happen, let it happen next. And then the winner can probably go on to do AJ. If he wins, he could probably go and fight the world title. If Tyson wins, he can go and fight Usyk.
How does that fight go? How does your brother?
Listen, if you'd have asked me 5 or 6 years ago, or 4 or 5 years ago, however long it would have been, it'd have been 75-25 Tyson. Now it evens up. The odds is evened up. I reckon I'd favour Tyson, but it's a close one. Both men's aged. It's just who's aged.
Amir Khan reflects the uncertainty and unpredictability surrounding the potential confrontation between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, acknowledging even veteran fighters struggle to reliably predict the victor. This alone demonstrates how equally matched and dangerous this fight becomes. Both fighters bring championship abilities, but simultaneously questions about timing and condition. The nearer this contest approaches, the more perspectives separate, proving this transcends another heavyweight fight. It represents a genuine balanced confrontation where momentum, mentality, and preparation will determine everything.
Show, for the fans. Yeah, we will see. I think all the fans in Britain, he will see the fight. AJ versus Fury.
Who do you think will win that fight after what you saw tonight?
I don't know. I don't know. But my prediction is very bad. I say to you, Fury win the fight maybe in the first 4 rounds. But you see the results. I don't know. Really, I don't know.
Dillian Whyte doesn't restrain himself whatsoever, openly attacking the approach surrounding the contract and demanding action rather than discussion. His disappointment targets directly how cautiously Anthony Joshua handles the situation compared to the more aggressive strategy of Tyson Fury. Whyte advances the concept that championship fighters shouldn't overthink or negotiate continuously, they should simply compete. His statements add demands to AJ, proposing that uncertainty or management strategies could eliminate his momentum in the most significant fight of his professional journey.
I'm the boss, I'm the landlord, and I don't know, he just says AJ stuff, just bollocks. Just say yes, it's the biggest fight in real boxing. Just say yeah, you let him get any younger, you let's get older, the fight's getting harder and harder to make. Just take the fight and just shut up. Just have the fight, that's the difference between me and him. I'll have it. I'll fucking have it. You don't need to go with me into a fight, I'll have it. You need to go with me and have it right away, It makes sense.
Johnny Nelson emphasizes how enormous this fight becomes, but simultaneously cautions that schedule remains crucial since if postponed excessively, the complete excitement could disappear. He emphasizes that both Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury must act immediately before age, defeats, or deterioration alter the worth of the contest. The concept stays straightforward. The extended delay, the less extraordinary it becomes. Nelson additionally proposes AJ doesn't require preparation fights, he requires the largest platform immediately. This escalates stakes enormously since it establishes this fight as a generational event that could lose its appeal if either competitor declines before it occurs. Its emergency combined with demands on both teams to cease postponing and execute.
Without a doubt, regardless of all the heavyweights around the world, it is the biggest fight in boxing to it even now. But you can't leave it too long. And we've had the Gypsies warning. AJ got turned over. Fury's been retired. Now that you've got the chance for this to happen, you can't leave it too long because one of them lose. That is no longer the biggest fight in boxing.
So AJ doesn't get a warm up.
And you know what? I think AJ and Fury is bigger than anybody you put in with Usyk.
Johnny Nelson emphasizes how enormous this fight becomes, but simultaneously cautions that schedule remains crucial since if postponed excessively, the complete excitement could disappear. He emphasizes that both Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury must act immediately before age, defeats, or deterioration alter the worth of the contest. The concept stays straightforward. The extended delay, the less extraordinary it becomes. Nelson additionally proposes AJ doesn't require preparation fights, he requires the largest platform immediately. This escalates stakes enormously since it establishes this fight as a once-in-a-lifetime event that could lose its appeal if either competitor declines before it occurs. Its emergency combined with demands on both teams to cease postponing and execute.